This week, I've had lots of people remind me of just how much web technology can intrude on our privacy. John Janechig of World to Worlds wrote a blog post entitled "Note to Google, You're Creeping Me Out," because after writing an email on the political philosophies underlying some virtual world issues, he received a Gmail advertisement for Marxist t-shirts. That followed immediately on the heels of my communication director, Lynn Cullins, telling me that since working with me on Metanomics, she's now regularly getting Gmail ads for Harvard Business Review and similar types of offerings. Just today, during the sound checks for the Metanomics special show, Philip Rosedale confessed that when he was a little kid, he would sit up on the roof and use the old antenna apparatus from his old, the old type of broadcast TV to eavesdrop on people in his neighborhood. Think about it. So privacy isn't privacy issues aren't anything new, but virtual worlds, I think, impose upon us an entirely new level of privacy intrusion. Rocket On, the focus of today's show, gives us a good sense of why that is. We talked about that a fair bit. Our primary sponsor, Slipcat, maybe raises even more questions because, if you're surfing the web, you're going to be giving the web host a lot of information. If you're using Google tools and cookies, you will be giving them quite a bit of information. But if you're in a virtual world, potentially every avatar and every object around you can also be collecting information. And in fact, that is the foundation of the Slipcat technology that comes from Code for Software. It's basically having enabled objects that can, let's just use the word, spy on you. So it isn't just Google that may start creeping you out. How about the people who made that chair in your room in Lively, or that avatar that's a programmed bot tracking your every chat and mouse click? And did I mention, by the way, that the bot's avatar is invisible or so small that you can't even notice it? And finally, what happens when we bring in the statisticians? Much of my area of business research, accounting and finance, is all about using statistical models to predict the future. So give us enough data and we'll predict with reasonable accuracy where you're going to go next, what you're going to buy, and to twist that horror story tagline, we'll know what you'll do next summer. So what does this mean? I think first it means that there's going to be a market demand for people who make defensive tools. I use a product in Second Life called the Misty tool that alerts me every time an avatar moves into chat range. But good tools are never going to be perfect. Second, there's a need for some privacy regulations specific to virtual worlds. Terms of service won't be enough. As law professor Joshua Fairfield said in one of my first Metanomics shows last fall, contracts between the world developer and the user aren't very effective at controlling disputes among residents. We need real-world law that governs this type of data collection. Okay. We also need regulations on transparency, opt-in, and opt-out. Addressing these privacy questions won't be easy, but it is going to be essential if businesses are to feel comfortable having their employees in the metaverse, and if parents are going to be willing to let virtual worlds be the new electronic babysitters for their kids. And I admit it does leave me thinking, maybe television wasn't so bad after all.